Hi, it's Bricks and Blooms. Thought I'd give you a tour of the fire pit and shed garden today. With that, let's get started. So I'm going to pan really slowly over to the fire pit area. And this corner of the yard has gone through many changes over the years. It used to just all be grass, then it didn't grow grass, and then we housed my kids' playhouse here. It was a sitting area for a little bit of time when we took that down, and then it became a firewood storage area. It looked so messy, you guys, that we cleaned it up last year and made this cute little fire pit area. We have this bench that my husband made. He built the fire pit, couple Adirondacks out here. When friends come over, we just add a couple extra chairs, and it's a really nice place to hang. And then I've got a couple hostas and Solomon's seal along the back fence. And then there's a dwarf Alberetta spruce. I usually use these in my urns on the front porch, and when they start to struggle, like if I don't water them enough, instead of letting them die a slow death, I bring them to the garden and just plant them. And that one's been in for a little while because it's gotten a little taller. I got a hydrangea back there that gets pretty much no light. It's shaded by that variegated dogwood, so it does not bloom. I could move it, but I've just kind of kept it there. And then this chartreusey looking plant here is variegated leucotho. I've got my bearded irises. These were fabulous this year. Oh my gosh, it had so many blooms. Then I've got a double flowering impatiens, a heuchera, mugo pine, my autumn joy, sedum autumn joy. These are awesome. If you don't have them in your garden, to me they're like the best perennial because they start to grow, you get this green, like succulent-y foliage. It adds a little bit of texture to the garden, and then as it grows their flower heads in summer, it gets these chartreusey looking flower heads, and then in fall they turn to like a pink and then like a crimson red. It's just beautiful, and it just does so much in the garden. It's worth having. It's my dog chewing a stick. He's taking the tour with us. Then I've got some ornamental grass and two hollies. In order to get the berries, you need to have two different, I think you have to have a male and a female. So that's why I have two. Then I've got some dahlias lining this new little pathway we created to the vegetable garden. Then I've got, I told you about it earlier, the variegated dogwood. Love this shrub. It's gorgeous. And I especially love it when my knockout roses in bloom. I just love the color of that pink with that variegated foliage. It's so pretty. And then I've got my catmint and another holly back there. I've got Joe Pye, some more bearded irises, sedum autumn joy, a couple more dahlias, zinnia. And then I've got some herbs over here in this garden. I've got like sage, and I also have a succulent pot. And that sage grew back from last year, and I probably should have cut it back, but I just let it go to flower, and I like the way that it looks. I'm not using that sage. I use the other sage for cooking. And then I've got these little barberries, which I'm not a fan of. They were from another area of the yard when we redid this whole backyard, and even though they provide color in the garden, they are invasive here. The birds take the seed and drop them in like wetland areas, and then they choke out other species. So if you are planting a new garden, avoid planting these if you're in my neck of the woods. I don't know how they are in other areas of the country, but in my area, they are a problem. And I've actually been wanting to take these out, but just haven't yet, but I would like to take them out. Then I've got some zinnias. Hi Bodhi. Got some more zinnias hidden behind my horseradish. I love the horseradish. You can harvest the horseradish from the root. It is pretty invasive though, so I keep mine in check, and if it pops up in other places, I just pull it and replant it, or just pull it all together. Back there is my vegetable garden. I'm growing tomatoes and sweet peas and cucumber. That's what's growing up that little apparatus over there. I've got basil and parsley, green peppers, zucchini, cucumbers. I don't know if I said that. Lots of good stuff. Love, love, love the vegetable garden. I wish it were a little bit bigger though. I have 4x8 quads, and this bed really needs to be rehabbed. So I think when we redo it, I'm gonna make them a little more narrow so that I don't have to reach in as far, and hopefully have a few more. And then right here is my Siberian iris. It's done blooming. It had white blooms, very pretty. This area is actually kind of sad because I had my gazinias there. The rabbit or the groundhog completely ate them to a nub. I mean, look at that. That is just so bad. So I just started spraying them with liquid fence to see if it would keep the rabbits from eating them. But if it's the groundhog's gonna eat it no matter what. And then over here, I just planted these. It's by Proven Winners. It's Wizard of Oz Veronica. They get these really pretty purple spikes, and the deer don't bother them, so it's a good plant to have if you live in deer country, because you don't need to spray them. They don't even bother them. Then I've got some moonbeam coreopsis. I used to have some planted here, and it like struggled, and I have a little left, so it looks like it's kind of, you know, grown back. See what happens. I actually do not remember what this is. The reason why is because a friend of mine gave it to me. I'm gonna have to look that one up. So if you want to know what this is, drop it in the comments and I'll make sure I get the name for you. But it does produce these really pretty flowers in July or August. Then I've got some catmint here. This is my climbing hydrangea. It struggled a little bit this year because of the deep freeze that we had mid-spring, and so the leaves are a little bit damaged, but we are actually planning, now that the shed has been redone, because we repainted the shed this year, we are going to add a apparatus or some sort of archway, if you will, over the barn door, and I'm hoping to train it to go up that so it stops going up the side of the shed, the front of the shed. Front side of the shed. And then if I come around here, this is the arbor that my husband built. Love the arbor. And I've got my new wisteria growing up it. It's doing well. It had some blooms this year. And I'm really excited to see it cover this arbor. And then I have a juniper to the right. The junipers that I buy are kind of narrow. I like to buy the narrow ones so that they grow to be about, I think they're about 8 to 10 feet tall, and they only grow to be about 3 feet wide. So it's just enough to fill in that area when it gets to the height of maturity. And got some more over here, but I'm running out of time, so I'll have to do that another day. Hope you guys enjoy the tour. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments.